do you feel was the biggest difference from the first half to the second half in terms of adjustments out there on the court?
I mean, I don't think it was anything complicated. I mean, I think we started out the game with good effort. And then we kind of let our guard down a little bit. And, after having some early success, I think we were up, 14 in the first half. And then really let our guard down and just got stagnant on offense and made some questionable decision making. And then defensively just lost our effort. And then, we had a good talking at halftime. And the guys responded and played a great second half, especially defensively. And for us, it's no secret. I mean, our defense kickstarts our offense. And, we were able to get a few things in transition to kind of loosen up the game a little bit. And they're really proud of how the guys responded.
And then was part of that conversation about rebounding because you guys were down by 4 in that total at the first half, and then you out rebounded them by 11.
Well, that conversation entailed everything that involved the word effort. And, rebounding would go under that category, defensive intensity, doing your job, playing unselfish on the offensive end. We talked about all those things.
Next question, Brian Peterson.
Tommy, a couple times this year you've talked about challenging certain players or certain groups and whatnot. Did you challenge your reserves to be more involved in terms of production? I think
I think Pella's really coming on. I mean, I really feel that and see that. I just want him to just tighten up some of his decision making and his passes just a little bit. I mean, I think he's really about to turn the corner and it's going to be a significant contributor, the second half of the season. I really challenged Justin today. Justin is really talented. Some days he's great, some days he's not. I was really disappointed at the end of the first half when he kind of traveled. We were running a last second play and he got a turnover, and then he missed a defensive assignment, which was more concerning, the very next possession. So, I challenged him to play better, and he came out and he played better. And when he plays better, he really helps us.
Thank you.
Next question, David Kelly.
Tommy, that's 2 games in a row. You guys have gotten that early lead, but then kind of fallen off there kind of midway through that first half. Can you pinpoint maybe why that's happening?
I have been really, steadfast in not using this lack of games as an excuse. I think that played into it a little bit. I think we got a little bit fatigued, after that initial start. And, maybe I didn't sub as much because we had a few guys with 2 fouls. So we had a few guys with 2 fouls that have a tendency to foul a lot. So it's hard to put them back in the game sometimes in the first half when, you're trying to win a 40-minute game. So, I'll take a look at some of those things. But all in all, I think, just the guys, maybe got a little bit tired, maybe a little bit selfish, and that's not a good combination.
Next question, back to Troy Hutchinson.
In the past, Kerr's had great shooting games, but only 2 points tonight, but he had 10 assists out there. Can you talk about his development as a point guard on the court?
I think Kerr's, he's played point guard his whole life. And, it may not be a point guard that some people are comfortable with, but I am. And, he really did a good job, getting the ball moving today and, finding guys, for cuts and shots. So I'm really, really excited with him. And hey, he made some really aggressive plays and probably some decisions I wish we could take back a little bit, but he and I will talk about that. And, I want him being aggressive. I want to make him plays for us. And, to have 10 assists and 4 turnovers it's not a terrible ratio, but I also think he's capable of tightening that up a little bit too.
Next question, Greg Hansen.
What do you think about UCLA getting beat at Pauley tonight?
I saw it, but I just think that's conference basketball. You get in conference season and everybody talks about these upsets, and I always think that you gotta get for the first couple weeks or the first 4 or 5 games of a conference season to really figure out what's an upset and what's not. And just watching Oregon the last couple of games, they've really been coming on in the second half, and maybe they did that again today, but I haven't really had any chance to look at it. And for us, we're not even, UCLA is not even on our radar. Our radar is just try to take these games. We talk about going 1 hurdle at a time, and the next hurdle is Utah. And I think that UCLA hurdle is out in front of us a little bit, so we got a ways till we get there.
Next question, back to Brian Peterson.
For a Thursday night after 9 p.m.? What would you say the atmosphere was like? And was this one of the
I
better
mean,
ones of the year?
it felt pretty good. I mean, it felt pretty good. I mean, hopefully people are getting excited. These players are doing a great job, and they're very deserving. And it's a special group of young guys, and and I know they appreciate the support. So I don't know final attendance numbers or anything like that, but with everything going on in the world, it's great to have a loyal fan base that comes out in trying times. So I was happy with the crowd tonight for sure.
Are you a fan of your players interacting or getting involved with the crowd, kind of getting them riled up, or do you prefer them to be all business when they're out there?
No, I mean, I think the game's best played when it's played with passion, and and you're walking a fine line, and passion and emotion are part of it. I mean, they can add fuel to the fire, and so yeah, I mean, I enjoy that stuff. I mean, I think that it makes it a fun event for everybody. And as long as it fits into a guy's personality, and he can try to get the crowd revved up and try to get his team more energized, I'm all for it.
Next question, Steve Rivera.
Yeah, Tommy, you kind of hinted this a couple of days ago at the press conference. You must really like how teams or try to do what you do, run. Washington was not that team. They try to throw a curve. Colorado tried to run with you. You must really like that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Colorado did a good job kind of slowing the game down in the first half, and it's bogged us down offensively a little bit. We had some longer, deeper possessions than maybe we're used to, and then offensively, they were spreading it and getting multiple drives, and then but at the end of the day, I mean, running's about effort. And it's not easy to be a running team. It's a total misconception. You have to work hard. You have to fight hard for it, because running opportunities are created by playing usually good defense that leads to a transition opportunity, or a guy just putting his head down and pumping his arms and outrunning somebody. And I mean, I think all of us here in this this media Zoom, we probably don't do sprints very often because they're hard. And these young men do, and the harder they run, the better we are.
And maybe just lastly, and Justin, even though you talked about him, he's an older dude. He's been around a while, probably coachable, and that probably helps you get on him.
I mean, Justin's a great guy. I mean, I love him as a person. I mean, I can't wait till we have a really successful year, and then after his career, he and I are going to be friends for life, and good friends. I mean, he and I will be guys that hang out. I really enjoy him. I just think he's just got to tighten it up a little bit and just be a little bit more consistent with his concentration and his effort, because he's so capable. He's so capable, and sometimes he has mental lapses, and I'm on him about it. And for us to be as good as we need to be, he needs to get better there.
Thanks.
For our final question, we'll go to Bruce Pascoe.
Hey, Tommy, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear the very beginning of what you said, and I didn't know if you addressed this already, but I was just curious if you felt the kind of layoff you went through played a role in some of the way Colorado was able to get back to it, just the rhythm kind of thing. And also, do you feel like with a game Saturday and more to come, kind of looking forward to that? Yeah,
I mean, I definitely felt, our decision making in game situations wasn't what it could have been at a lot of moments in the game, especially early, and you may be able to count that to a layoff. And I mean, these games and the possessions in games are great teachers. And a lot of times they're better teachers than what we do in practice. I mean, you can harp and say something in practice, but sometimes it's maybe a little tougher for it to sink in. But you get game, you get footage, you get film, and you can show guys and sit down and really learn from it. And this team's been really good all year at learning from film. And so we're going to continue to do that. And, I just told the guys, hey, these seasons are long. I mean, these games are tough. They're up and down. And I was really proud of the way they responded in the second half. And anytime you win a conference game by this margin, I mean, you're going to take it. So we're happy with the result, and we're looking forward. A Utah team that may be a little bit down, but they're rested. They didn't have a game this week, so they're sitting there watching this game right now, and I'm sure they've been preparing for Arizona all week. And and we get to start our preparation tonight and then tomorrow. And so we're expecting a well prepared, well coached, tough team Saturday.
Thanks.
That's all we have for tonight. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Coach.
Have a good one, guys.